Hi, my name is Edward. I'm a game developer and in this tutorial for CG Tuts Plus, we're going to work with Retarget motion capture data to game characters. And on this tutorial we're going through a few steps. Okay guys, so we're starting with opening this character on Motion Builder. Then we are going to characterize the 3D character skeleton. Alright, so after we've created a motion builder character, we're going to import the motion capture data. Then after we're going to do the same process we did with the 3D character, but with the motion capture data so we can characterize it. Alright, so we're going to apply the animation from the motion capture to the 3D character. And after we've done that, we're going to prepare this animated 3D character to be used in a game engine. And last but not least, we're going to import the completed file into Unity 3D so we can work it and see how it fits in. Okay, so to start with, I have my motion builder open up. So this is my layout, and actually I'm using Maya shortcuts, but the shortcuts I'm going to say it's pretty most common uses. If you want to use Maya shortcuts, you're going to settings, keyboard configuration, Maya. Okay, so to start with, I have provided you some files like the soldier FBX, a texture, a diffuse texture, so just for seeing purposes, and a motion capture folder which comes with a BVH motion capture data. It's just a walk cycle. Okay, so to start with, we're going to open that file, open that soldier file. Hit open, hit enter. We are on the side view over here, so I'm going to view, perspective, producer perspective. I'm going to select and hit F to frame unselected. So you can see over here that I have a pretty low poly character. Alright, it's a game character, so it has to be low poly. And under this low poly character, I have a bone structure. It's a pretty simple bone structure and matches closely to a motion captured structure. Okay, so we have three files on the FBX. Three nodes. We have the body, which is a geometry, we have the helmet, which is also a geometry, and we have the pelvis, that is the bone structure. Okay, so that's what we're going to work with. And I'm going to Shift D to deselect all. Great. So now what do we have to do? We have to transform this bone structure into a 3D motion builder character. So to do this, we're going to window Asset Browser. In the Asset Browser, under templates, we have the characters, and under characters we have the character, which we're going to click and drag to our pelvis, which is our root bone, and when we release our mouse button, it shows our options to characterize, and then we're going to hit OK. And Motion Builder thrown us an error. It said the characterization process could not be completed because some required nodes are missing or do not follow the naming conventions. On this specific character, I've used my own naming conventions. So in this way, Motion Builder could not find the correct bones, like the correct bones for the shoulder, the correct bones for the elbow, and so on. Okay, alright. So I'm going to hit OK to see a list of the missing nodes. And you can see he could not find the hips, the leg, and so on. So I'm going to hit close my asset browser. And now on my navigator, under characters, I have a brand new character. I'm going to double click it. And under character definition, we have some reference for the floor, where the foot stands, These are not required, and then we're not going to use it. We're going to use only the base, which they required, and these ones that Motion Builder could not find. Okay, so he could not find the hips, the left up leg. If we take a closer look into our model, we can see we have the hips, left up leg right here. We have the left leg or the left knee, the ankle or the left foot. We have the chest. We have the shoulder or arm, left forearm or the elbow, and the left hand. The same thing for the right side. So if I expand my hierarchy on the pelvis, you can see that I have all the bones. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to click and drag the objects I want. So for the hips, I'm going to use the pelvis, that is this bone right here. So I'm going to click and drag pelvis. For the left up leg, I'm going to use this one right here. So I'm going to do the same thing, click and drag. For the left leg, I'm going to use my left knee, which is this one right here. So left knee, click and drag. And for the foot, left ankle, okay, I'm going to do the same thing for the right side. So right leg on right up leg, right knee on right leg, right ankle on right foot. Alright, for my spine, I doesn't have a detailed spine on this character because maybe it's going to be a mobile game character or anything like that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my chest, this bone right here, as my spine. So chest, click and drag to spine, okay. And the left arm is going to be this left shoulder, so I'm going to expand chest, click and drag left shoulder to left arm. Same thing for the right side, right shoulder to right arm. And my left forearm is my left elbow in the character, so click and drag. The same thing for the right side, and the same thing for the hand. Okay, and you can see that the head Motion Builder find it automatically, and because we use the same naming conventions, and that's okay. If you've done everything correctly, there's no repeating nodes over here, and if you click and if you hit characterize, you're just going to hit characterize and you should see no error at all, and you should come up with this window which says, okay, your character must be in an instance pose or a T pose and facing the Z axis, the positive Z axis, which we are. Alright, so I'm going to, it says, oh, your character it's a biped or quadruped, and it's a human, so it's a biped. And that's it, we set our first character. So you can see it creates some little cubes over the hand right here. I just ignore that for now. So you can hit save and save your scene. Okay, we're done for the first process now. Now what do we have to do? We have to import the motion capture data. So to do this, we're going to file, motion file import. Okay, so under file import, we're going to browse to the folder where we have the files, motion captures, walk slow loop, which is a looping walk cycle. I'm going to open. It says which takes I want to import. I want to import only the walk slow loop take, which I'm going to hit import and let me see, 6 frames per second. That's alright. Actually, let me go to 30 frames per second. Okay. So you can see now I have a huge, it's a giant bone structure. And the good thing about Motion Builder is that you can retarget motion capture to another bone structure regardless of size. Alright, so it's size independent. It's a pretty nice stuff. Okay, so if I hit play, you can see that the animation goes softly, smoothly. And it's a looping animation. Okay, so before we characterize, we must make sure that our bone for the motion capture is on its instance pose or T pose, which it's not. Alright, some motion capture data on its beginning, on its frame 0, have a T pose keyed, alright, which helps you a lot. And when you characterize, you must have your character on a T pose, as we have our 3D character. So how do we transform this already animated motion capture into a T pose so we can characterize? Well, that's easy. We're going to contract all this stuff, and we're going to right click. Actually, I'm going to click on BVH reference, and I'm going to select branches. What does select branches does? It selects all the nodes in the hierarchy below it, or nodes that are connected with it. So if I only select the BVH reference, it's going to select only this locator right here, which moves all the structure. But if I select branches, it's going to select all the bones in the hierarchy below it. Alright, so then we can move and rotate it to put in a T-pose. Okay, so to put it on a T-pose, we're going to switch to our rotation tool, and on these boxes right here, we're going to reset the rotation. So I'm going to hit 0, enter, 0, enter, and 0, enter. So you can see magically we have a T-pose. Alright, and be sure that when you're doing this process, you do not scroll the time, because if you do this, it's going back to the keys and it's going to play the animation and you will lose your T-pose. And this happens because we're not setting keys for T-pose. We're only rotating temporarily. Sorry. Alright, so let's do it again. 0, 0, 0. That's it. So if you could notice on my 3D character, the legs are in an angle. Alright, it's not straight, the legs are not straight. So what we're going to do, we're going to mimic the same behavior on this T-pose for the motion capture. So I'm only going to select this bone, move it to the side to create that angle, select this bone, move it to the side to create the angle. So now you can see that both bone structures match closely in means of rotation and angles. Alright, so with that done, we're now ready to our characterization. So I'm going to do the same thing. Window, Asset Browser, Characters. I'm going to Character, click and drag to BVH reference, characterize. It says the nodes are missing because of the naming conventions. Okay, I'm going to hit close it again, move it to the side so I can see, expand my navigator. And now we have two characters. I'm going to rename this first one, which is our soldier, to soldier, just for organization. Alright, and this one to motion capture. Make sure it's checking spelling. Motion capture. Okay, so now we're going to do the same process. We're going to select the hip, which is right here, and assign as hip. We're going to select my L side. See, it's my left up leg, so drag for left up leg. The same thing for the right side. So you can see it's the right side. So we're going to expand it. You can see that this is the knee or the left leg in this case. So click and drag. Same thing for the right side. You have the foot, so here you have the foot. Okay, so click and drag on left foot. Make sure you do the same thing for the right side. So for the spine, you can see that in the motion capture I have an extra bone over here. So we're going to simply forget about this bone and use the chest bone, because we've set the chest bone as our spine on the 3D character. So I'm going to expand abdomen, and then here I have chest. So I'm going to click and drag and go to spine. Alright. And on the shoulders we have the same thing. We have an extra bone. Okay, so we're going to simply ignore it and assign the shoulder or the left arm, left forearm, left hand. Okay, same thing for the right side. Alright, so let's go to abdomen, chest, ignore those bones, which are the colors, and left shoulder to my left arm, right shoulder to my right arm, left forearm to my left forearm, right, the hand, and the right hand. So now you can see that the head has been automatically detected, same that it happened on the 3D character. So we have the base set up. We can now characterize, and we should get no errors. And see, it's a biped, it's facing the Z direction. And okay, so now we have two characters, okay, but if you hit play, nothing happens. What do we have to do now? We have to make sure that this character is receiving the animation from this character. So this character input animation is this one. So showing what I just said. So under my first character, I'm going to character settings, and input type I'm going to change to character input. So anything that happens with the other character will happen with this one. Alright, so character input, you see it automatically filled with the motion capture, which is the only other character. And if I hit play, nothing happens because I have to set this character as an active character. Alright, so I'm going to activate it. Bang. You should see that now the character changed. Sorry. So if I hit play, you can see that the animation from the top character, this big one right here, is being applied to the character, the game character. So we said that, and if we export it and work with a game, nothing will happen because the animation is not on the bones of the 3D character. It's being real-time calculated on top, being based on the motion capture. So what we have to do, we have to make this animation, bake its animation on the skeleton. And to do that, what we're going to do, we are going to plot these animations to the character. So if I select the soldier character, we have an option here that's plot character, which will bake the keyframes, plot all the animation into in a control rig or the skeleton. So I'm going to hit plot character. It shows us, oh, you want to plot the animation, the skeleton or control rig. I'm going to cancel because I want to show you something. You can see that the foot, it's in a weird angle, and I want to correct that. So if I want to correct that, I have to have a control rig, so I'm going to plot to a control rig. Okay, so I'm going to plot control rig IFKIK, and I hit plot. Okay, so now all the animation is now baked into this 3D character. So now we can get rid of the motion capture data. So to do that, what we're going to do, we're going to select the BVH reference, control click, select branches, You see now that now I select the motion capture character that we don't need it anymore. I'm going to right click, delete. It's okay. Yes to all, delete the character. Yes to all. So we delete the character. If I select my soldier, you can see that its input type is not character input anymore. It's now control rig. So FKIK rig is now controlling this character animation. So all this animation is on this base layer. Okay, so I have too many keys, and I don't want to delete and work again. It's not the deal. I will create a new animation layer. Okay, so all the animation I will create on this new animation layer will be on top of the existing animation. So it's going to be in an additive mode. So if I rotate 30 degrees, all the animation below it will occur naturally, but with 30 degrees added. Okay, so if I select here on the character control, if I select my foot, and if I rotate it right here, and I make sure that the key mode is full body, and I hit key, make sure I do the same thing for the other foot, hit key again. You can see that now the foot is aligned correctly. Okay, the animation is going. So now I've not deleted or changed any keyframe of the previous animation or the motion capture animation. I've just added another layer and changed the animation on top of it. Alright, so it's going to rotate, let's see, 60 degrees on the original, more 30 degrees of the new animation layer. Okay, that's how it works. So most game engines doesn't support. I haven't seen any that support IK or control rig. So what do we have to do? We have to plot this character again, but now plot the animation to its original bones, that is the pelvis. So to do that, we're going to select the soldier and hit plot character again. And you notice that control rig is not anymore here because we already have a control rig. So we're going to, the only options we have is to bake to the skeleton. And we're going to plot the skeleton, plot, and that's it. We have all the animation now going on the pelvis. We can now get rid of the control rig. So I can only select this control rig, delete it. So now I don't have any control rig, anything at all. But if I hit play, I still see the animation because all the animation is now baked into the bones. Alright. So with that said, it's time for us to export this character and to an FBX so we can use it on a game engine. So I'm going to File and Save As. I'm going to soldier _ game ready, which hit save, and in this option it shows us an options of save. And you can see that I've banned almost all the options because these things I don't want to use, like actors, actor faces, audio, any cameras in the scene. I only want to save the bones with their animation, any constraints I have, the models, and the poses. Okay, and the only take I want to export is the walk slow loop. And I'm going to hit save. Well, it saved my FBX. So this FBX I have just saved, it's a optimized one where I don't have any camera, I don't have any audio, I don't have any shader, I don't have any material, only the model, the 3D geometry, and the skeleton with the animation. Okay, so now I'm going to pause the video a little bit and open up Unity 3D where we'll work with the file. Okay, I've opened up my Unity 3D and it's an empty scene, and to work with I'm going to File, assets, import new asset. And I'm going to import my soldier underscore game ready. Okay, import, show some FBX warning, you can ignore it. Okay, you have our model over here. The scale factor, I'm going to keep it 0.6. Alright, so our animation here, it's a loop, so you have to be sure that your animation default wrap mode is loop. Okay, and you're not going to split any animations, because in the importing part of Unity, it already took the take from Motion Builder, so that walks the loop take was already converted into an animation. Alright, so if I simply drag into my scene, I'm going to reset this position to 0, 0, 0. You can see that it's on its animation frame. Alright, I'm going to import the texture, so I'm going to asset, import new asset, texture, diffuse. Okay, I'm going to that's pretty much it if I want. So I'm going to my materials, where I have that default material. I'm going to click and drag right there, so you can see that now I have my soldier textured. And I'm going to change my main camera so I can see the character. Live view. Okay, I'm going to create simple light. So I can see what's happening on the scene. Rotate the light, move it. So if I hit play, you can see the character is walking correctly. Alright, if we had a control rig, nothing would happen, because most game engines, I'm sure all game engines doesn't support control rigs and IK. And because we have plotted onto the skeleton, we're now able to work with these animations on a game engine, and like this Unity 3D. So hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I think I've covered pretty much I wanted to cover, and that's it. I hope you learned anything good, and that's it. Thanks for watching.